all kept staff apprehensive. From the land of Ray Lewis came a special request for a very sick patient who needed the best.
This is John Camper calling from Baltimore. We have an elderly gentleman, overweight, somewhat obese, long hair, unshaven, long beard, has somewhat the smell of Christmas spirits on his breath, who says he's been kicked in the abdomen by a four-legged critter. Our trauma guy, Dave Efron, is in the Bahamas, scuba diving, so we need to transfer him. He suggested the Mayo Clinic, so I called the Mayo Clinic. He doesn't have insurance, and the Mayo Clinic won't take him. So I suggested the Cleveland Clinic, and he said, I don't want to go to any city where the football team can't win a single game. So then I suggested Mass General, and he was very enthusiastic about that. So we're hoping you will take him. He's safe to transfer, but he has a very tender abdomen. He may have a serious intra-abdominal injury. Now, he says he has some very important business to take care of over the next 2 weeks. So I'm hoping you're willing to take him, get him back on his feet, and get him out working again. Let me know if you're willing to take him, and we will send him right up. Thanks, Steve.
An off-Santa race of 95 North, a long snowy journey to man's greatest porch. Soon Santa arrived, all grumpy and flustered. A trauma staff called, and interns soon clustered. A hook to the chest, again to his belly, the elves became worried and put him on telly.
Mommy, in the North Pole, where are the presents?
75-year-old unknown Jingle Bell right here. Transferred his position from outside. Unfortunately, that's all the records I have on him.
Records.
Okay, great.
Mom.
Your name is Trauma? What's up,
This is Oz.
Sir, what's your name?
This is Santa.
Santa.
Santa
Okay,
Claus.
great. Ooh, 6 o'clock. Time for me to sign out. Becky? Airway intact.
I'm doing good.
All right, I'm
where's
taking
the...
over from here.
Hello?
Listen to your breath sounds.
We have a pulse?
Bilateral breath sounds.
Oh my goodness.
He's got pulses bilaterally. Okay, you do the secondary survey. All right.
Feeling good. What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
There's a
1225.
4-centimeter hook print on the over the xylophone.
My chest aches and all.
I think we have lots of urology. There's an injury there. I think his balls are deflated.
No, I think it's just cold out.
I really think there's something wrong. I think the pressure's really low.
Pressure's low? No, that just happens in New England.
Right.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna roll you to the side now.
Please do. Oh yeah.
For the rental, Santa. This is the house.
Gosh.
All right, good on her
Oh,
here.
thank God hurts. Oh my
Here,
God.
here.
No presents for you, damn it. Oh my God. Oh, no. I think it
All right,
works.
let's come on back.
So after the interns worked really hard to gather all the information from Hopkins and here, we knew that he was a very old appearing male who came into a little fight with the reindeers after participating in their reindeer games. He had a kick to the chest, ran groin, which brought him to the hospital. According to the Hopkins hospital, he was brought in via a sleigh when his wife found him. When we examined him, he was convinced that he was surfing in the Bahamas rather than being on a hardboard. When we looked at his airway, it was intact, and although he was very grumpy when we met him, he was apparently ho-hoing all the way from Hopkins. His breath sounds were equal. He had some popcorn, crackles, and bases bilaterally, and he had a normal rate but his cardiac exam was notable for a Donner gallop, and he had palpable bounding pulses. Vitals were stable, and the fast exam was negative. When we looked a little bit closer, he was very obese, elderly, and unkempt beard was evident on exam. His GCS was 13, largely due to the fact that he was responding a lot to multiple of our questions. His eyes were twinkling bilaterally, and he had a tender anterior chest and groin. He had a very large abdomen, which was largely soft. There weren't tinkling bowel sounds present, and there was a very nice jelly wake that we all felt. GU exam was most remarkable because there was marked ecchymoses present, and notably there were deflated testicles, which we were all surprised about. The extremities were warm, and he was very warm and suited to have children sit on his lap. Furthermore, past medical and surgical history was unremarkable as far as we can find. He was allergic to unhappy children, and his medications included a Jolly pill, which he was taking regularly. He lived with his wife and ran a shop in the North Pole with many small employees, including some reindeer, and he smoked a pipe regularly and informed us that he was taking a social eggnog occasionally. And finally, his parents died many, many years ago of natural causes.
So I just want to summarize our patient here. Santa Claus, dirty old man found out, transferred from an outside hospital. His injury burden includes significant broken injuries to the chest, the abdomen, and some deflated balls. You know what we need?
Hyperacute PET scan.
You got radiology?
A chest x-ray taken, an AVG drawn, Fagan was called, the response was a yawn.
An untested X-ray, body habitus limited evaluation, but there were bilateral snowflake-shaped opacities concerning for either acute chimney smoke inhalation injury, reindeer hypersensitivity pneumonitis, hoof-induced pulmonary contusion, but could not exclude eggnog aspiration. With concern for his groin, to scanner they went. Santa in peril, his pants without tent. And on CT scan, he was found to have mild fatty infiltration of the liver, mild intra and extrahepatic biliary ductal dilatation, and he was also found to have a large volume of material in the stomach concerning for recent cookie ingestion. In the pancreas, he was found to have an ill-defined spiculated lesion with central hyperattenuation. And this was concerning for a malignant mistletoe, with the differential diagnosis also including candy cane carcinoma or sugar plum papilloma. However, not to be forgotten was the large volume of material in the stomach, likely correlating with recent cookie ingestion, but a cookie bezoar could not be excluded.
Though in stable condition and ready for floor, he stayed in the pit for 12 hours more.
Can I get a nice tip? What's going on over here? Hey. Help me out. Come on, I got a lot of pain. Don't you see me over here? Who's on tonight? Don't see me. Whoa. Pretty loud now. Jeez. Does anyone see a sick person in this office? All right, this room. Don't pay attention to me. Come on. VIP over here. All the admin. We're never gonna get a bed in this place.
A transplant, perhaps?
It's no laughing matter, this below the belt blow.
Given the nature and severity of Santa's genitourinary injuries, we decided there was only one person who could potentially save him, Dr. DeHugo.
Well, Dr. Cetrillo and I have been asked to see Mr. Claus for this consult, and after a pretty extensive review of his clinical history and taking a look at the amount of defect that he has, he's really not a candidate for a penis transplant. As a matter of fact, for somebody undergoing that procedure and the type of work that he's involved with, and going through millions of chimney every year, he's actually at high risk of squamous cell carcinoma of the scrotum, known as the chimney sweeper scrotum carcinoma. So our committee has decided this is not the right thing to do, and thank you very much for the consult.
No transplant for Santa, so off to White 7, a floor so well known for nurses from heaven.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Oh, Santa! I know him!
That Mercy, we are E-swabs. We better get to the room.
Oh, the swabs! Yippity-doo, the swabs! Santa, look!
What's going on? Where are we?
Just for you.
Where am I?
Santa,
Who are you?
You're on White
Who the
7.
hell are you?
I'm your nurse. I'm Lisa. I know him.
I know him.
We need Stat Mercy via E-swab.
Oh, you'll get those. Don't you worry.
What's a swab?
Get those.
I got lollipops and candy canes. One's a lollipop. It's gonna go in your nose, and the candy cane is gonna go in some other orifice.
Oh,
yes, Santa.
well, where's the reindeer? Where are we?
Well, the reindeer.
What's
they're not
going
yet.
on?
But here's
Who are you?
Santa, here, look at this. Ready? Oh, look at this. Oh, a candy cane in the tropical.
There's no
candy
snow in there, is there?
Oh, yes. And then Santa, come here.
Oh, no.
Santa, we have to roll you.
No.
Can you roll to your side?
No.
Oh, you want to make
No.
Yeah, Santa, you can do it. Yeah, Santa, you can. You can. I know you can do it, Santa. You know what, Santa? Do it, Santa. Look right in the little reindeer panties. Oh, yippity-yahoo. Candy cane forest. Where there's magical elves.
Hello, elves.
Oh, yeah, there's magical elves
Lots
here.
of elves. Are they on Bumble? Those elves on Bumble? Love elves.
You know what? And we're gonna give you magical Christmas hot chocolate.
Don't go.
Oh, cocoa. Juice.
Juice.
Don't you worry.
Clear stones and amethyst.
Oh, clear emphasis.
On it.
Oh,
That's some good.
listen, do you think you can hop over that side rail? Right there. Do you think you
I
can?
fly goddamn slow. Of course I can. Need that blue sheet under me. Where's that blue sheet?
No blue sheet for you. You just climb.
You know I got some trauma, right?
Oh, Santa, look at you.
Oh my gosh, I need a pillow. Come on. Lisa, I need a pillow.
How do you know my?
How do I know? Lisa, I need a pillow. Somebody. Where's the elf? Somebody help me. Doesn't anyone
Worry about it. We're gonna get you a
Doesn't anyone have any spirit?
Yeah, we do have spirit. Yeah, we do. Christmas spirit with no sheet on the bottom of the mattress.
Man, this is Claus. You're giving her a run for the money. Oh,
Listen,
man.
would you like to have some of this chapstick I just got it off the floor?
No.
All right. Yep.
Swab from above and swab from below. Yet his elves still fear his progress too slow. His mood incongruent, possible withdrawal, psychiatry consulted phenobarbital.
So with ongoing concern for Santa's continued ultra-mental status, we consulted our colleagues from the Consult Psychiatry Service. And they did a typically extensive work with Santa Claus for a typically expansive note in the matter, but ultimately diagnosed him with both eggnog use disorder, despite his insistence that he drinks only a few occasional social doses of eggnog. And they also diagnosed him with acute Yuletide delirium, which differs in unclear ways from typical acute delirium. For these two conditions, they recommended an intravenous taper of eggnog, as well as an intravenous taper of hot chocolates, and also prescribed the use of frankincense oil to try and provide him familiar aromas and smells to clear the sensorium. They then allowed us to join them during their conference a few days ago to discuss this interesting consultation.
All right, let's run through the list. Andrew, Ellison 14, 20% TBSA burn. He's from New Hampshire. We phenobarred him. We're managing pain with methadone. You want me to keep going? They're all doing great. They're all on phenobarb. Excellent. Just the way I like it.
Well, actually, I have a pretty interesting patient, and he's verbal. He's a 75-year-old guy. I think he got hit in the chest by a reindeer. Let me tell you about the mental status exam, though. His eyes have a twinkle. His dimples have merit. His cheeks are like roses. His nose like a cherry. He has a stump of a pipe in his teeth, and the smoke that it created encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly.
Dan, let's get to the point.
Well, I think he has peduncular racinosis. He sees all these little elves everywhere, and they're all going about doing his work. He has a history of eggnog use disorder, and we started him on an eggnog taper, basically.
That was the burn team. Let me just call Sean back. Hi, it's Deanna from psychiatry. Are you serious? Let me talk to the team. We'll see him. Sorry about that. Dan, that was Burns. They said that we recommended frankincense oil in the diffuser. The
Well,
patient got agitated, and now he has 4% TBSA burns. This is definitely going to be a safety report.
I was doing some reading. I know it's not levocarnitine or phenobarbital, but there's some really good niche research on frankincense oil that's inhaled to help with delirium and agitation.
We send in some articles. This is how he got the recommendation. There's a new show in town.
So after Santa Claus's burns were discovered, the burn service was consulted, and the case was staffed with Dr. Government, who had this to say about the situation.
So Santa Claus has a very small superficial burn. It's going to be non-operative, basiadaptic, he'll be fine. And I think we really should ridicule the psych team and Dr. Kuhiki for her use of the, what oils was this that she was using? Frankincense oil, yeah. There's really no indication for frankincense oil in this situation.
Olive oil.
What kind of oil?
Olive oil.
Yeah, he really could have been given Haldol oil instead. And that's really what Santa needed.
By hospital day number 3, the dust had kind of settled on trauma, Santa's trauma. He was recovering from his burn. But what became apparent, the more serious issue was his incidental mistletoe. He had jaundice in his eyes, and he had significant belly tenderness. So with the pancreas issue at hand, we decided to consult the real expert of the pancreas in this hospital, Dr. John Godin.
His eyes, they had changed. His skin turned yellow. His billies had climbed, a less jolly fellow. And as Santa lay sleeping, word spread across land. Many sent wishes for his pancreas gland.
Please help Santa, MGH.
I hear that Santa Claus has mistletoe and is being treated at the Mass General Hospital, so I'm asking all the nurses, the doctors, and all the staff at MGH, please take good care of Santa, because we need him for Christmas Day.
Keith, this is Brian Clare at UC San Diego. I heard from enough at the North Pole that Santa's in the hospital at MGH with the mistletoe of the pancreas. I just wanted to reach out with our concern for Santa and our hope that you and your staff will do everything possible to get Santa ready by Christmas Eve.
Hey MGH, this is Mary Hahn, Chair of Surgery at Stanford. We hear you had to admit Santa Claus. We hope you take great care of him and get him well soon. He's got a big job next week too.
So I hear Santa Claus is in the hospital at MGH, and I hear he may have a mistletoe. You know, I reviewed those CT scans, and I'm a little worried that there could be a pseudoaneurysm of the splenic artery. Could he have had pancreatitis? What has he been up to? Good luck. Take good care of him.
Hi, Dad. I heard you guys kept saying that. I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, if anybody can handle it, it's you guys. I did hear he might need a Whipple, so I called Dr. Tarpley, and he's actually on his way. He's taking a red eye from Africa, so she'll be down there soon.
I have a special request from East Africa, from here in Kenya. I understand my colleague Santa Claus is there with some kind of incidentalloma of the pancreas. Y'all are the mecca for taking care of such problems, and I encourage you guys to take very good care of my friend Santa Claus. Thank you, and have a Merry Christmas.
Hey, Jeff Matthews from the University of Chicago here. Season's greeting to the Mass General Hospital. We are so sorry to hear about Santa's illness. You know, at the University of Chicago, we've taken care of elves and we've taken care of reindeers, but if Santa Claus is ill, there's only one place for him, and that's the Mass General Hospital. We know you'll take great care of him. All the best to Santa for a speedy recovery, and season's greetings to the whole department from ours.
Hey guys, Charlie Yo here at Jefferson. Listen, I hear Santa made it up to the MGH with his mistletoe. Good luck with it. Tough case, unusual anatomy, often a lot of inflammation. I want to refer you to a recent case report in the journal on case reports of pancreatic cancer about this. Hope you guys have a great holiday. I got to get back to doing my EPIC modules, learning modules, this transition over to EPIC. Best wishes to everybody up in Boston. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Mistletoe? I'm pretty sure I remember Pete Vagel's doing this case when I was his intern on the ward service. You know, we used to be able to do stuff like that back then. Not anymore, obviously, but nonetheless, it sounds complicated. I think the MGH is probably the only place that can handle this case, so please save Santa Claus.
His team watched him closely, his vitals checked often. His sugars had climbed and blood pressure softened. Call Dr. Godine, the surgery team cried. Remember his mass? It's 4 inches wide.
So it turns out that Dr. Godine and our patient Santa Claus have met before. Actually, it was about this time last year, maybe a couple years before. So he was able to get a better history now that Santa had cleared a little bit, and noted that he had had completely uncontrolled diabetes for about 500 years, which makes sense because his glucose now was 1225. He also brought up this interesting surgical history that back in 2005 here at Mass General, he had undergone a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass. He had found that trying to get through the chimneys here in Boston from homes that were built before 1850 was having a difficult time. So of course went splendidly, but in classic Team 5 fashion, Santa Claus had a psychological crisis after this. His self-image was totally changed. He just didn't feel like the same person. Mrs. Claus couldn't really recognize him. He even went to the factory and some of the newer elves mistook him for one of them. So he had a reversal of that with the first case ever of a reindeer gut introposition. So for this, on this admission, he also was noted to have some end organ disease from his diabetes, abnormalities of his eyes, a lot of sugar in his urine, a big heart, and some clausication in his calves. He was also notable for having ancestors that no one could remember anything about, no descendants known, and living up in Northern California despite his German ancestry and very, very poor access to care. Dr. Godine also was probably the only person to perform a complete 10-system review of systems on the patient. So, in conclusion, turns out that patient Claus is lucky. In terms of pancreatic masses, the mistletoe is a good one to have for somebody who's had diabetes for 500 years. So looking into mistletoe, turns out that mistletoe is used in some countries around the world as a treatment for diabetes. For full details, see the Nigeria Food Journal article. So, this is also tells us how he's been able to have this tumor for so long in the context of diabetes. It's about time that something's done about it.
So, mass in his pancreas, mistletoe in nature, the source of his problems. Santa needed a savior. So he was admitted to the trauma team. Dr. Fagenholz was the admitting attending. You know, trauma with pancreatic problem, he seemed like the obvious first choice. So we went and found Dr. Fagenholz.
Mistletoe of the pancreas.
It's very rare. I think I probably saw like 10 of them with Carlos in a week as a resident, but it's very rare. It just, as I recall, the pancreas was always alive in the setting of mistletoe. There's essentially no necrosis, so why would I be interested in taking care of a mistletoe?
So we kind of rebuffed that. So we thought, all right, this is Santa Claus. Everyone knows about him. He's here in the hospital. This needs to go all the way up the chain. And so we talked to Dr. Lilmo.
Jahan, so you're the Team 7 resident this month, is that right? So look, I looked at this transfer that you brought in for possible Whipple. I can't do him. First of all, he's so fat, it'll take far longer than I could spend in the OR to do any case. I have a lot of things to do. Secondly, all his comorbidities, I have to keep my complication rate low. This guy will kill me at M&M, and Berger will go crazy. Thanks. Get somebody else to do it.
So that was a great idea. Santa needs a Whipple and he needs it fast. Let's call Dr. Berger.
I won't do your Whipple, but I'm happy to fix your hernia.
That's what we got out of him. He's not even here now. So, we were like, okay guys, this is crazy. We need to talk to Team 4. Let's go find at least Dr. Ferroni, Dr. Fernandez, and we could probably run into Dr. Ferroni somewhere in the hospital. So let's go look for her first.
So tell me a little bit more about Santa. His ejection fraction sounds way too high. He doesn't have liver failure? No. He doesn't have COPD? No. He has insurance? Absolutely not. I am not doing his Whipple.
So, too fat for Dr. Lilmo, too healthy for Dr. Ferroni. Obvious choice then was Dr. Fernandez.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. It looks like an incredible case, and it would be a privilege, actually an honor to operate on Santa. I can't think of anything greater. But as you know, the situation isn't good, and I just got my notice. Trump is kicking me out of the country. So.
Well, Maggie, that's not at all. I've done, I don't know, hundreds of Whipples robotically. The last ones that I did were for gunshot wound of the pancreas, and I never had a leak in a robot. So I would be more than glad to do this case robotically. Bring the patient in right now, and I'll complete it in a couple of hours.
That's no problem at all. You see, you can do robotic surgery in a very relaxed way. It's very very frankly, you don't even need your mask. You see, yeah, we'll be done very, very quickly. No leak, my mask.
But alas, from his Moses, a leak he had sprung. His spirit was draining, repletion was up. Santa needed a drain, and needed it fast. Page Peter Mueller, he'll fix him at last.
So as a component of doing high-volume surgery, ultimately you end up having complications. We had our first leak from robotic Whipple to MGH, so we called our friends at IR Avail Stop.
From interventional radiology. Of course, Santa's in town, and that's a problem that is biliary. Do we call Trump, or maybe Hillary? No, too much politics. It may go too far. Better get the experts. Call IR. We love our surgeons and their team. At night, about their complications, we dream. It's Berger and Fernandez, Ratner and Houghton. Bahamo's King de Moya, Paganol's Ye, we are beholden. We can't forget in the season, Hatham and Noel. The biggest giver is Lilimo. We love him so well. Santa has appeared to have sprung a leak. We all know that his wounds run very deep. From the leak we drain lots of schmutz, but it appears that jolly old Saint Nick is a putz. An hour later, Santa woke with a smile, and he thanked everyone for draining his bile.
So now at this point, Santa received his whipple, and he was now 6 days out from his iron hearing replacement. He was doing quite well, and were able to slowly advance his diet to the point he was tolerating some milk and cookies, and doing well on that. But one problem was he kept on having persistent high output from the drain that interventional radiology place. At this point, they had to turn to somebody else to fix it. The question was to who?
The drain is working, but 1 liter a day. With that kind of output, he can't fly his sled. There's one special glue only one man can find. Grab Ivocera, it's Mario.
Call Mario Fernandez. Mario, we have an emergency with Santa. We need you right now. Okay.
The solution is delicate and requires fine touch. We need Dr. Warshaw, one who knows much.
Dr. Warshaw,
Yeah,
we've been looking everywhere for you.
What? We didn't know you had an office. Santa's has gone totally wrong. His drain, he's losing all of his Christmas spirit. It's just dumping out. What's Santa got a whipple for?
Mistletoe.
Oh, good. So, okay, let's go. We have to go. Right now, he's in the
Come
OR.
on.
Let's
Okay.
go. Okay, Dr. Warshaw, we found Santa. He's here on this table. Oh my God.
And Velma hosted this? What did he do that for? He doesn't even know how to use the robot. He's never done a whipple. And you know, this nonsense about not having any fistulas. I mean, I've never had a fistula.
We need your help.
How do we fix them?
Well, you can't put the pancreas back, but you can plug the leak. Now, under ordinary circumstances, we could use Gorilla Glue, but Gorilla Glue doesn't work in the cold, and it takes too long. We need something that's fast and will work under these circumstances. How about reindeer glue?
Perfect.
Okay, you got me?
Got you. Yeah.
All right.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here's the Mueller drain.
Okay. So we put the reindeer glue directly in here. And look at that. No more fistula.
Okay. You fixed him.
Oh.
Thank you for saving Santa.
You saved Christmas, Dr. Warshaw. We need this.
And just like magic, the leak has gone dry. Santa's joy has returned, and soon he can fly. From the floor he departs, a note he delivers to the other big guy, chief of health givers.
Oh my gosh. What happened? Under appropriate abdominal paper, there's no drain anymore. There's only 3 days till Christmas. I need to go thank Dr. Lilimo right now. I need to get out of here. Elves, I need the elves. We gotta go. It's time to save Christmas. Whoa, 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 whoa.
big hurry to get out of here. He has a lot to do in the next 72 hours. But we did manage to get him for one last happy holidays. You should be here.
Surgical interns have been very good. The rest of you have been